Blear.
Okay, nice one. Hi. Hi. Excuse me. Just get myself sorted. Hi. I'm gonna puddle. I'm gonna puddle today. That's the theme for the week. I'm gonna puddle. How are you? How has your week been? Good. I hope it's been nice. Tell me about it. Okay. If you're watching this, listen to this, and you're in public, I dare you to actually answer the questions I'm asking you, like out loud, under your breath. Hey, how's your week been? One word answer, go. Oh, cool. Well, and what was the highlight? Nice. Did you what? Okay. What? How did that make you feel? Cool. And what are you up to this weekend? Hey, there we go. That was fun. So you may be wondering, why am I speaking to you from a puddle today? Well, I just thought, well, why not? You know, why not? Why not? I've never seen a podcast from a puddle, so make of that what you will. No, I kind of wanted to speak a little bit about, because we're at the very beginning of a wonderful journey. I kind of thought that'd be a fun little setting to talk about, like waiting, because that's something I've done many times in my life. I've waited for a really long time. After I first got my little cankeroony little heart patter for comedy and creativity and stuff, I was like, I really want to make stuff, but I just waited. I remember I waited for a really long time. I remember when I was a student in Edinburgh. I remember I was like chatting to these boys who were like part of this like Edinburgh Uni improv group, and they said you should go and audition, or like, you know, audition, go to workshops. So I did, but well, no, I tried, but I would like, it took me like a year, literally a motherfucking year to build up the confidence to go, because I used to live next door to, my flat was next door to the church that they did Bedlam Theatre, the church where they did workshops, and I would get up every Saturday morning. It was a free workshop, and I would walk towards the door, and there was a doorbell on the door, and I would go to ring it, and I'd bottle it, and I'd go up, and then I'd walk around the block, and then I'd come back and try again, and then it wouldn't work, so I'd go around the block, and then I'd feel more and more embarrassed, and then usually about 3 or 4 times I would just run back home, and my flatmates would be like, "How was the class? Did you go?" And I was like, "Oh, I'll try next week." And I tried genuinely for about a year of doing that and feeling sad that I just couldn't do it, and then one day I was listening to Robot Rock by Daft Punk from their live album 2007, and it was like, it gave me hype, and I went and ran the doorbell, and I went inside, and it was really cool, and I did some improv games, I got some laughs, and that was great, and I loved that. But then I developed this sort of like passion for comedy and stuff. But then I also became really, there's a lot of pressure around it. The pressure around something that should be fun. It's crazy. And then cut to 2025, and I'm 31, and still pursuing comedy. This is like 10 years ago. That I was, 10 years ago, but 10 years ago that I was like first started like building the passion for it. But it's funny, I feel like, I don't know if this is a relatable thing. Kind of the reason I wanted to do the puddle thing is because, well, you know, I've kind of felt like every sort of person I know who wants to be creative or like do something creatively as a job, there seems to be this thing of thinking like, unless you're like doing it in the structure of a 9 to 5, then you're not doing it. But you are. You know? Like, we've been told that you have to sort of monetize everything, and you have to sort of like get out there and, you know, like mine your passion for money and income. And yes, that's obviously lovely. It's a lovely idea, but kind of what ends up happening is like it takes the joy out of it, you know. And the difference now compared to like maybe 20 years ago is like 20 years ago, say you were really passionate about basket weaving, and you'd go to sort of like some basket weaving groups. You'd weave some baskets, you'd have some picnics and show off your baskets, and then maybe you would start sort of selling your baskets at county fairs and village fetes. And then one day Mr. or Mrs. Big Shot says, hey, your baskets are goddamn fine, come with me to the big Hollywood. And you go to the big Hollywood, and then that's when you start thinking about money and taxing and all the big numbers. But now you can be a basket weaver from rural Scotland somewhere, and you think, oh, I'm going to go into a social media, Instagram, an Etsy, a TikTok, and immediately get bombarded with numbers and stats. And I just think that's not so good. I don't think that's so good. I think it stifles the freedom of creativity, because this part of it should be so innocent and fun, and you should be thinking, yay, I want to like make something. But what ends up happening is you just feel overwhelmed and begin comparing yourself. And also, the next thing down from your post is something, I don't know, something Trump said, and it's all this horrible stuff that's like relevant to see, and it's obviously really important, and it's good to sort of be plugged in. But you're just thinking, well, shit, man, I just want to make something nice and fun, and I want to honor my inner child and feel like, you know, excited by something fun and innocent and playful. And what ended up happening to me in that context is I just started waiting. I just started waiting, and I would just sort of sit and worry about like starting something, because I worried that I wouldn't be able to complete it, and I wouldn't be able to be successful at it, whatever that means. But then what ends up happening is you just do nothing. You do nothing for a really long time, and then you just sort of sit there thinking, what the hell? Come on! And then sometimes you just find yourself, like, you just stop, and you just think, this is really not fun. And then that's it. And you just decide, I've tried this a few times in my life. A few times I've quietly given up on making stuff like comedy or whatever. I've quietly given up on it. Just thought, I'll just leave it. I'll try to do an Irish exit for my own passion, and it's boring. What ends up happening is obviously you find work or whatever you want to do, like, but you can't abandon that, because it's you, and it's like an internal compass thing. It's like it's telling you which way to go, and you have to go with it. And I think you should embrace it and feel pride in that, and also embrace the individuality, because like I feel like there's so much in the world that's teaching us that we have to sort of be a specific thing. Like you should, like, you know, for you hear a long time people would say the conversationally, what do you do? And well, I do many things. I wake up and I smile and laugh, and I talk to my friends. I call my mum. I talk to my brothers. I run. I go down slides. I also do this. I lie down and pretend to be in a puddle. And it's like we're all so multifaceted, and the structure of society is built so much around how you contribute to society, into this capitalist machine, and that's just unfair. And it's sort of like there's so many other strengths we have, and especially now we have so much more understanding about neurodiversity. If this isn't the image of neurodiversity, I don't know what is. But yeah, I don't know. I just think we deserve to feel so much more joy in our lives. Yeah. You know, it's actually just really nice to lie here in the puddle. Splish, splash. Splish, splash. I'm having a bath. I'm having a lovely bath. Splish, splash. I'm having a bath. I'm having a tasty bath. This is fun. I have a nice time. So basically, also, this kind of is... Oh, actually, okay, I do want to speak about this a little bit more. The whole idea of being the puddle, I kind of wanted to sort of like... Well, I actually thought about doing a bedrot episode, which I might still do. But this episode is kind of like... I don't know, I just like the idea of like what... How can you sort of like show someone... Yeah. So no, but yeah, I've had many depressive days in the last 10 years, just with the under the weight of, well, I'd like to be here, you know. Yeah, here, like, whichever way you see me, and like successful. And then I think, but I'm having fun. Okay, this is kind of the main point I wanted to make in this episode, because I had a thought the other day in the shower, which was, if you're a dreamer, like, you've got a big dream for something, that's so specific, that time in your life where it's like, you're like, oh, I'm here, but I'd love to be there, and you get to play and make loads of stuff, and like, and just try stuff. You've got so much freedom. But I think if you're like me and you're sort of aiming towards like, oh, like I'd love to be doing it professionally as a job, whatever it is, you know, there will come a time when the dream, you won't be a dreamer anymore. Your dream will be your reality, which is obviously amazing. But with that comes the money, as in like, you have to think about money, you think about the taxation, you have to think about logistical stuff. When it becomes a business, as part of that, it's like it's not a dream anymore, you know. And there's something quite nice about that time, about having a dream and being a dreamer and existing in that funny little space where it's like you're just like, oh, I'm like really like, you're willing something forward, you're willing your things to exist, your projects or whatever. And I think something in that is so lovely and magical, and almost like holding on to that no matter what happens, like holding on to that specific thing of being in the dream state and the ambition state. That's kind of like where the magic is, even after whatever happens. If you get global success, whatever it looks like surely the part of it is the time of trying stuff and running about. And I don't know if I'm articulating this very well, but if you're a dreamer and one day your dreams come true, don't stop being a dreamer. Because it's like everything in life is about thinking about numbers and blah 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 blah, and it's like, well, the magic of it is, the magic stuff is the stuff which is all in the heart and invented, and I don't know. Basically what I'm trying to say is, keep dreaming, keep on dreaming. Dream on, because it's like, oh, actually, Dream On by Robin and Christian Falk. It's a really good song. But yeah, I don't know. I've just been thinking about a lot recently, and also just been really pleased because I've not had a day in a while which has been like lying in bed and fretting about my life. Yeah, it's been really nice, and yeah. Maybe I'll end with a song. Here we go. When you're lying in a puddle and your life is troubled, you just gotta take a chance.
When your life is feeling sticky and your heart is icky, you just gotta open up and dance. Yeah, 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 motherfucker, let's go.